Hello everyone, we are live, I hope. I hope you're all doing really, really well. Oh yes, it looks like we are up and running. Yay! Let me just pull the microphone a little bit closer. Check that you can hear me okay. Yeah. Oh, why are you? I don't know if you guys can hear that. But that was a little cat cry. Hey there, Orny. How are you? Are you gonna come and say hello? My craft area is a little bit of a mess, as you can see. I have a few bits and bobs on my desk here. That's a cute card from Jane. Just show you that. That I was just tidying. And I've got a few items here that I'm hoping to play with. This is from last week. It'll just keep swimming, and I'll pop that back up there. But I've got a few items here that I thought we could have a little play with and use today. Arnie, what are you doing? Your sister's here. I do have a little friend with me. Hello. I've got a little girl sat beside me, and Arnie has just come to find her, I think. I'll see what the commotion is. They've both been for their injections today, so they've been feeling a little bit tired and a little bit dopey today. Bless them. So yeah, so they're just very sleepy, but they've forgiven us for putting them in a box and taking them to the nasty vet, haven't you? She was actually really lovely, the vet. She was really, really good to them, and they were very well behaved. Bless them. So let's have a little look at what's going on here. I can see a few of you have hopped on. I hope you're all having a really good evening. I hope you're all really well. If you'd seen on the caption for the live tonight, I did have an idea of making a card for a teacher, which I've never had to do because we don't have children, but I know a lot of other people do, and everybody's heading back to school soon. So I was going to do a back to school, but then I was inspired by a card that I'd seen doing a card to say you're a great teacher, and I wanted to recreate something similar with my own twist to it, with the Fantastic Friends stamp set, and then a couple of other bits and bobs as well. So that's the plan for today. Hello Jess, how are you? If you're around, please do hop on and just say hello and let me know you're watching. So I also have here the Making Waves stencil. I do have one that I've already opened and used, and I don't know where the rest of it is, because there should be a centerpiece as well to this, so that you can mask off a pool, kidney-shaped pool. Hi Emma, hi Jane, how are you? So there is the option of using that, but when I was at Crafting Live, I think it was, I did make this background using the tiger stripe stencil, and it just looks so effective, because it actually looks like water, and I thought this might be a really nice technique to show. What can we do for you? Are you coming up? Come and say hello. He's crying at my feet. He's got the tiniest little meow. I don't know if you can hear it. I'm sounding very quiet at the moment. I wonder why. Let me have a look. Let me see if I can turn up the sound a little bit. I don't think anything has altered, but don't. So Ant says turn your volume up, but I've turned that up a little bit. Let me just turn the sound up on here and see if I can hear what you're hearing. So I'll just talk into this and then I'll hear it a few seconds later on Facebook and I'll be able to see if it's made any difference. It is quite quiet. I do understand what you're saying. Um, 1 second, I'll try turning it up a little bit more, see if that makes any difference. The microphone is, so you can hear me twice now because I've got it on my iPad as well. But so I've got it. That seems a little bit better. Let me know if that makes any difference. Hi Claire, how are you? Thank you for letting me know, Jess. Let me know if that is any better. It seems fine coming through my iPad, but obviously depending on what devices you're listening through, it might have a bit of it might change a little bit. So do let me know. I've turned it up on the microphone and I've pulled it a little bit close to me, so hopefully that will make a difference. So I was just showing you some backgrounds here that we might potentially use. And this one is the Snow Flurry die, which I've used to cut out this piece of cardstock, and then I've ink blended over the top in blue. Now this again makes a really nice kind of wave effect. So if you've got this die in your collection, then this is a technique you could try, and again works really well with all the sea themed stamps and stuff that we've got. Laura says I always have to turn up to the max for Time for Tea Lives. It's fine as long as I remember to turn it down again at the end. Hello, Voice of Joe. So yeah, I don't know why that is, because it sounds fine coming through my iPad. So I don't know. I wonder if it must just be if you're watching it on your TV, maybe, or the different devices have a different impact. I'm not sure. I'm wary of making it too loud, because then it might be too loud on other people's devices. I don't know. One day we'll get this right, won't we? So, but I think I really like this. This is obviously just ink blended in a gradient of blues with some ink splatter, which again is a really great background. But I think this just looks so effective as a watery finish. So I'm going to use this, I think, as my background. Well, I'm going to show you how I did it. Rather than just use the one that I've done there, because I think it's nice to be able to show how we did that. So I'm just going to cut a piece of cardstock here, and I feel like that's a good size actually, because I'm going to add a little bit of a border, but it might just be a little bit small. Let's have a look. So again, I thought I would use the border from the Ocean Waves, but it might be a little bit, my cardstock might be a little bit, oh no, my cardstock is absolutely perfect. Perfect. So, so that's good. A little bit of wayward cardstock. You could also use the wide stitched frames, which would be quite cool, because, and I might still do that actually, depending on how much of the image we're going to use in the middle. Because I'm going to use these stamps here, which are the Fantastic Friends, to use. Oh, hello there. Hello. Anthony has made an appearance. He's come to see what we're all up to. Where's little? Oh, I can hear him. Yeah, they're just meowing, just randomly meowing. She's cozy as anything here. So we've got some different fishies, which we can use, which I think look really cute. And we've also got the dolphin and the whale. But I really like these little fish. And let me just have a quick look at some of the other little fishies that we've got. Let's have a look. We've got whales. Yeah, I think we'll stick with those, because I think we're then going to have, I'm going to perhaps use one of these border, these fishtail banners to have the sentiment, at least part of the sentiment in it. Because I want to use the fantastic to a fantastic, but I'm not going to use the word friend. So that's going to fit in the centre of there, I think. And then we're going to stamp out the word teacher underneath. So I'm either going to use this, the Clyde Alpha, or I do have the Tippy Tappy typewriter, which is a little bit smaller, but I want teacher to be quite a bit bigger. So I think that's what we're going to do. So that's my plan. It may work out slightly differently in reality, but that's the plan so far. So let's make our background, because I love this background. Move my bits and bobs out of the way, and let's get my stencil out of the way. My stenciling mat. Look at the colour of this. This is a disgrace, isn't it? But hey ho. So I need my stencils. Let's have a look. Where have I think I've just tidied these away because I wasn't going to use these, but then I saw the background and I thought I need to do that. I just need to do it because it works so well. So I've got my stencil here. Let me just pop these away. I've literally only just tidied away the last two releases that have been sat on my desk because I've been using them, working on them and so on. And then we went to Crafting Live, and I've just never got a chance to put any of it away. So it's literally been hanging about on my desk, making the place look untidy. And so I finally managed to get it put away today, which was a huge relief. So I'm going to try using a bit of the tumbled glass first of all, I think, on my background. I'm going to use my big brush here, and I'm going to just add a nice bit of blue all over the background of my cardstock here. Hello Nicola, how are you? So what has everybody been up to then? Today's, I don't know if it's been the same for you guys, but today's weather has been so strange. It was nice earlier on, but it was wet. So there'd been rain overnight, so it was just very, very damp. Then the rain started, and it was just miserable and a bit cold, and yeah, wasn't good for me. I don't enjoy that at all. I don't know whether to add a little bit more salty ocean. Actually, might be a nice colour. Let's add a bit of salty ocean in here as well. Yeah, it was just a bit miserable. Then we got home because we'd been to HQ today to pack some orders, and we got home, and then it was just beautiful sunshine, and we've been in the kitchen cooking, and it's like a greenhouse in our kitchen when it's really sunny. The sun just hits it on an evening, and it's just been absolutely red hot. So it's been like every kind of weather today. It's just been, if there'd have been snow today, I don't think I would have been surprised, because there's just been a bit of everything. It's been a bit crazy. Laura says that she's half tidying her desk at the moment, mostly watching you with the occasional shuffle of paper, pretending that you're doing something while you're watching. I love that. So I think what I'm going to do for this bit, because this is a really quite a fine stencil, so it's got really delicate parts to it. So I'm actually going to I'm going to use a bit of tape on this one because, oh, itchy nose. I don't want it to move around while I'm stenciling, but I'm going to use one of my stackable brushes because this will help with the delicate nature of the stencil, and it'll stop it lifting so much. So I'm just going to pop that on there, and that should keep it in place for me. And then I'm going to grab my little stackable brush and some of this Mermaid Lagoon, which is a lovely colour. And then I'm not going to do, normally I would use like a circular motion, but again, I don't want to lift this stencil. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to push the colour with the brush and then do a bit of a side to side motion. So again, because of the bristles and the the nature of the brush, how it's put together, you're not going to get any harsh lines when you apply that first bit of colour down, and then you're just going to be able to smooth those out as you brush backwards and forwards. And I'm just using a softer motion around the edges because I want those to kind of blur out at the edges, but I'm going to use a stronger application in the center because I want those pretend waves to be more defined in the center. So we're just going to blur them out towards the edge. So I'm just going to just smooth out those edges a little bit, and then that's as much colour as I feel that I need there. I am going to clean off my brush a little bit. I find that I don't tend to clean off my stackable brushes, but perhaps should, because I always forget that there may be colour still loaded on there. Right, so now let's do a little reveal. Move these out of the way. Emma says, it's my birthday today and it's been raining. Oh, Emma, that's rubbish. That is rubbish. It's actually my birthday next week. And I said to Aunt, I'll be really upset if it rains on my birthday. So I understand how you feel. No, it's not next week. It's a week on Tuesday, I think, or a week on Wednesday. A week on Wednesday. It's not far. So we've now got our little bit of a background, and then the bit that is going to make it look really cool is adding a little bit of water, and I might even add a little bit of white splatter to this because I think that looks really good as well. So I've got my fan brush, and then I'm just going to dab that, just flick that over the top like so, and then I'm also going to just do some flicks off the side as well. The good thing about the water droplets is that it does give you that watery effect. So because we're trying to create the illusion of a watery surface like a sea or a lake or something, then the water is really good for that. So I'm going to take some of my kitchen roll. I've just let it sit for a little bit. I'm not worried about just leaving it for the moment because that will help the water oxidize with the ink. And then I'm going to pop this over the top, soak up any of that excess water, and then we're going to be left with those droplets. So I'm going to bring this a bit closer so that you can see. Look at that. How cool does that look? I love that effect. Really, really love that. The other thing that we could do, which we did do a little bit of last time, and I think I'm going to be tempted to do it again, is to add a bit of shimmer to this. So I'm going to use the Silver Sparkle for this because this is a really cool effect. And it'll just add a little bit of shimmer to the background. I don't want to cover the whole background in it because this provides quite an opaque shade. So I don't want to do that. I want to just give a few little sparkly spots. So the way to do that is get my little acrylic block here. Once we've given it a good shake and we've got it all mixed together, I can just add some of that to my acrylic block there. I'll get that same fan brush and dip that in there. I can tap or I can flick, which the flicking does a really good job actually. Does a good job of getting it everywhere, but does get a good amount of it onto my my cardstock. So again, I'm just going to bring that up to the camera a little bit so you can see some of that. When it dries, you'll be able to see even more the shimmer that it adds. So just flick off the rest of that. That's really cool. That's going to look so lovely and shimmery once that's dried. So I'm just going to pop that to one side because we need to let that dry, and then I'm going to just clean up my area. So I just think that's such an easy and beautiful background to make, and it's with a stencil that isn't actually made for water. It's actually the tiger stripe stencil. So like I say, I was at Crafting Live when I decided to give that a go, and I really loved the effect of it, and loads of people, you know, were just amazed by it when it came out. So I think it's a really fun technique to try. I know a lot of you did get hold of the tiger stripe stencil, so if you've got that, have a go at doing this kind of technique, because it's really cool. Oh, I've got all little bits of vinyl stuck to my desk here. So what did you get for your birthday, Emma? Did you get any crafty goodies for your birthday? Anything special? I'd love to know what you got, especially, you know, what crafty things are we buying and are on our wish lists. So let me pop that away. So we now need to think about our characters. So I have got my little box of tricks here. I do have some already stamped up, but I think I've used most of them actually. I've used a lot of these. I do have the To a Fantastic Friend, which actually I could use that, and I might use that because I do think that that's very cool. What else have I got? Oh, I have got some of these already stamped up. So this is a really good tip, you know, when you are you're crafting, to keep hold of, you know, bits that you've already stamped up and stuff, because it just makes things so much quicker and easier. These bits are ones that I've already used and die cut bits out, but I've already got the sentiments already stamped out, so I'm just going to chop those up and then keep those in here. And then this is a full sheet of the beach buds stamped out there that I can use and colour in at a later date. So don't throw any of those things away. You can see here I was batch card making, so I've stamped a lot of those out already. So I'm definitely going to use them at a later date. So I've got 4 of my little fantastic friends here, but I feel like 4 is a weird number. I need 5. I need odd numbers. So I'm going to stamp out another. I've obviously got this guy here who's already coloured in yellow. And do you know what? A nice yellow and orange kind of a theme is probably going to look really cute. So we've got, I think I need another guy facing this way. So I'm going to stamp this little guy. I'm going to free stamp him because I'm feeling brave. So some memento here. Hi Lauren, how are you? What are you up to this evening? And are you doing anything in particular for your birthday, Emma? Obviously it's been raining for you today, so you've not been able to go out and enjoy it in the outside. I think what we're going to do is, well, I think my mum and dad are going to come and see me. I'll spend the day with my mum and dad, which I'm looking forward to. And I think then we will also maybe go out for the day, one of the days after, and just have a little bit of time. That's drying really nicely. It's looking absolutely gorgeous. Look at that shimmer. Love that. Love it, love it, love it. I'm just worried I'm going to put my finger in them. So we're going to go with kind of a yellow and orange. Maybe what other colour? Yellow orange, maybe a pink. That could be quite cool. So I think I'm just guessing the colours that I may have used before. Let's have a little play with some colours here. I do love a bit of orange. So we'll get some nice orange shades together, and then to complement that and against a blue background, I think maybe some nice hot pinks. Which pinks do I like for this? I normally go for the RV13 and 14. They're quite a nice hot pink shade. I'm just having a look, see if there's anything else that grabs my eye, but I think really that's the one for me. The others are a bit more of a pretty pink. This is a nice shade of pink. Let's try this. Yeah, this is a nice shade of pink. So this is the RV24 and 29. So it's a bit of a deeper pink. Or we've got the bright pink, which again is really pretty. I feel like this one might be the winner, and it's a bit different. I like to do something different now and again. So we'll go with that one, and then we've got the oranges as well. So this guy I think we'll then do in a bit of pink. So the RV25, and actually let's have a look at the RV21 here. Is a bit paler, so I'm going to use the paler pink for the face. Shall I zoom in a little bit so that you can see what I'm doing a bit better? Zoom. Emma says that she's been at work today but going to Oxford for a wander around tomorrow. Oh, that'll be nice. Never ever been to Oxford, so yeah, I've never been that neck of the woods. This guy, I've done that, but I didn't mean to. I'm going to paint I'm painting. I'm actually not painting, but right. So I've gone with a bit of pink there, a paler pink there. The RV25, I'm going to do along the middle here. And then I'm also going to use this to just add a little bit of shading underneath him there. And then on this one, again, I'll just use this for a little bit of shading on the underbelly and along the top. Maybe underneath that fin as well. So let's, oh, wrong end, let's blend that out. Cute. I've really been enjoying playing with all of the little fishes and underwater scenes, and it's just really nice to be able to, I don't know, come up with something a little bit different each time you do it. So this is the RV29. So again, I'm just going darker there, and I'm going to add a little bit of shading. Actually, my eyes went a little bit peculiar then, so I do apologise. I went over the line there, but all I need to do is just bleed that back using that lighter shade. So I'm just going to push that colour back and then blend that back out. Yeah, my eyes went a little bit, they're feeling very dry after all the heat today, so that's why they're feeling a little bit, yeah, they just went a little bit blurry then. So I'm going to add the lighter pink to those fins. I might actually go with Let's go with the darker colour there. So I don't necessarily want to make these all monochrome, but some of them I want to mix up a little bit, so that's my plan. So I want to see how these all kind of work together, you see. So for this guy, I'm thinking a bit of orange to contrast with that pink. So I'm now using the YR15 to pop colour in these stripes. So just carefully adding that in there. I had done a little bit of a pink error there, but that's okay. We're not going to be able to see that. I'm going to use some of this. In fact, no, I'm not. I'm going to go yellow. I'm going to go yellow for the little tail fin there and for the face. This guy is very, very colourful character. So I'll add a little bit of that in there and then a bit of shading. And this, I think this is what I really enjoy about the fish, is that, you know, there are a lot of colourful fish out there that we don't know about, and I just think that you can have fun with the colours and just make them whatever you want, so you don't have to stick to, you know, just the traditional kind of goldfish kind of look. Do something a bit different. So for this guy, I feel like this guy's probably going to be mostly yellow, and so I think we will go with kind of a yellow face, make it very similar colouring to this chap here. So mainly this body. Or do I do an opposite with the pink? Oh, I quite like the idea of that. Right, I've changed my mind. I like the idea of doing the opposite with the stripes, because I was going to do blue, which is a bit like, is it the clownfish kind of a look? But we've got blue in our background, so I'm wanting these all to stand out. And even though these fish are similar, you know, they're going to be very similar, they're actually going to look very different. So I'm going to add this darker pink to the fins there, and then just blend that out with the paler pink on his tail fin. And there where I have bled out a little bit there, again I'm just going to use the tip of this yellow just to bleed that out, and then add a little bit of shading along the bottom of the faces and the belly just there. So that'll take care of any areas that I might have just overlapped. Lovely. Oh, don't they look cool? They look so cute. So then this little tiny fish here. Oh, that was a cute little noise. This tiny wee fish, I think does need to be a pink one. But again, could be a bit of a combination. But I'm going to go with pink first. Pink at the front end, pink at the back end. And I'm keeping them all kind of similar colours, because what I don't want to do is have too many colours fighting for attention on the front of the card. But you certainly could, you know, go to town and have a rainbow of fish. A rainbow of fish would actually have been really cool, wouldn't it? Hi Annalisa, how are you? Happy Thursday. I love being able to colour the fish bright colours. It is just such a cool thing to do, isn't it? Annalisa, I knew you'd like the fish. Let's do yellow and orange. But yeah, I think you could definitely have done a rainbow of fish, and if I'd perhaps had a bit more time and put a bit more thought into what I was doing, maybe that's what I would do. So I would challenge you guys to have a go at that, because I think that's going to look really cool. Did I do that there? I think I did. There we go. So they're all looking pretty cool. I'm very happy with those guys. Let me just, don't mix up my YRs with my Y colours there, and I pop them back together in their respective homes. And then we can die cut these little guys now, can't we? So let me get I'll get my little die cutting machine, which I think is better for this job, and pop some of these back in their little homes in here. What have I done there? There we go. Laura says she loves my colouring. Oh, thank you, Laura. That's so cute of you. Thank you. I do appreciate that. I mean, colouring is one of my favourite things to do, and I don't get nearly enough time to do it. But even when I'm, you know, at shows and things like that, where I spend all day pretty much crafting, most of that isn't colouring in, because you need a little bit more time, and I don't really have that when we're at a show or when we're on TV. So most of my colouring in is done beforehand, which I do really enjoy, you know, that part of it. But I would love to be able to spend more time just colouring in, and we definitely need to do another kind of online colouring class. Maybe over the winter time will be a good time to do that, because there's often, again, not enough hours in the day for me to be able to do some of these things. I did have a class partly prepped to use the movie star stamp set and make a little cinema scene with the box frame dies, and it's all, you know, everything's there, it's just not been possible to put it together. So again, that's something that I would really like to get up and available for you guys, because I think you would really enjoy that one. I loved making the card so much. So yeah, so hopefully I'll get a chance to do that over the winter. We do have a new release before winter, so look out for that. It's not quite in production yet, so it's going to be a few weeks away, but the items that I've got in mind, I know you're really going to love them. So yeah, they are, you know, right up our street. So yeah, I can't wait to share those with you. I'm back on it now. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time for me to get into the swing of it. Designing is one of those things that you can't really force. You have to be in the mood. And sometimes it's a little bit hard to get going, but once I get going, I'm off, and there's no stopping me. So yeah, it's going to be fun. So let's get these little guys cut. Oh, lovely. Put that back there. So that's that. So now my next thought is I'm going to cut this out of some cardstock, because I think we'll just go with white, because that will stand out against our background really well. So let me just trim the excess of this. We don't need it. This is quite thick cardstock, so probably wouldn't suggest using quite this thick for this type of banner, because it's got the folds in it. So it might be a little bit tricky to fold, because it is quite thick. It's 300 GSM, which is probably not advisable, but I had the scrap to hand, so we're going to use it. And I'm just going to blow my nose. Little Maisie's fully watching what I'm doing. down here. Annalisa says she can't wait to see what I've got in store. I can't wait to see it all either. But you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it, I'm sure. I hope you do anyway. So let's put these here. So what else have we been up to? What else have we been? Oh, I'll tell you what we have been doing today. We Aunt and I made a curry, a veggie curry for tea. Now we don't normally eat curry or spicy foods, but Aunt really fancied it. We went for a couple of curries when we were on holiday, and like I say, it's something that we don't normally do. We're not really into the spicy foods, so we don't normally do it, but we had to do it because where we'd seen looked so nice. And we absolutely loved it while we were on holiday. We were like, why have we not done this before? But yeah, it was delicious. Right, I'm going to try my best to line this up, but it's quite hard to do. You can't really see what you're doing. So I want it to go in the middle here. So I'm just going to curl that around. I think that's going to work quite nicely. But I obviously don't want the word friend. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover up the word friend with some washi tape. And then I'm going to grab my VersaFine. And we're going to add some ink to that. So yes, we've made this veggie curry. Don't forget to take off your tape. Otherwise that won't work. And it was absolutely delicious. Oh, that's upside down. So yeah, excuse me if my head pops into view, but I really need to just get over the top of this so that I can see roughly where I'm lining this up. I'm just rocking it back ever so slightly just to make sure that I've got that all done. And then we'll pop that off. Oh, I didn't quite get the T. That is a shame. So, but don't worry. We'll just add that in with our pen here. So again, if you ever have this kind of where you've missed a few little bits, don't panic, because you can always use a fine liner pen. Just fill those gaps in. That is the danger of potentially using a freehand block, but I wanted to do it that way so that I could perhaps curve it a little bit easier. So, but that is absolutely fine. So I do like that. I'm going to wait and see what it looks like with the rest of the image, because I need to figure out how I'm going to do the word teacher on here. So I don't know whether I do teacher separately. And even though we've curved that, you can see that that's now just sprung back into its original shape. So don't worry about, bending your photopolymer stamps in that way. They do just spring back into action. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit because we're quite close here. That's better. So here's my background. And I'm going to probably position my... Oh, and let me just... Can you see the sparkle there? That is unbelievable. Isn't that gorgeous? So if I'm putting my border just here, like so, we're going to have two a fantastic here, and then we're going to have all of our little fishies swimming around doing their thing. And then I'm thinking that maybe the word teacher is going to go along the middle here somewhere. So this is the vision. So I am, you know, totally dismayed at the fact that I haven't even used this stamp set yet, which I absolutely love, but I just haven't had chance to play with. So I'm excited to give it a go now, and I think what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to tip all of those off. I feel like I need to trim this down in order to line up my my words, but I don't want to stick it down. So I was going to stick it down then, but I don't want to stick it down yet because I want to use my stamping platform for this bit. I'm not going to take any chances with this bit, so I'm going to just use it as a guide to then trim off these edges. Doesn't matter if they're not perfectly straight because they are going to be covered up. I just need to give myself a better idea of where the middle is going to be. So that's lovely, yeah. Okay. And I'm going to get my stamping platform out so we can line this up. The border is from the Ocean Waves die set, Annalisa, if you're looking for that one. So we've got that popped in there. That closes nicely. My border, so I'm just going to add my border in there while I line this up. My Two are Fantastic is going to go there in the centre. So I now need to add the word teacher. So my thoughts were that I would go with the lowercase. So we'd have, oh, and I think that's the perfect size. So we've got, and we could hand stamp this. I'm thinking. I just need to work out where my middle letter is actually going to be, because I need the E twice. All the others though fit perfectly, don't they? So we've got a 7-letter word, so I need the 4th letter to be in the middle, would be my thoughts. So that seems to be the middle, and then we'll do, so I'm going to hug these all next to each other because that gives for a better look, because I don't want them to be too spaced out, because each of the little stamps, I can explain this properly, come with a little bit of extra photo polymer all around the outside where they've been cut. So that's just part of the process of cutting them. They're sticking to my fingers horrendously here, but we will get them straightened out. So that's why it's good to hug them together, because they've already got a natural gap between them. The other way of doing it is to freehand stamp it, which we could do. And because they're all moving around, I'm so tempted to do it and use a little metal ruler. So I have this Make Art Station here. So let's try this instead as a guide. This is magnetic, so I can use this. My watch is actually magnetic and is stuck to it as well. So let's swap. So you can see my lights reflected in it. That's the reason why I don't use this very often, because you can see my studio lights reflected in it. But if we again line this up, find the middle, and then my C is going to be my middle letter. I need to find my little, where's my little doodah? Here we go. This is my little acrylic block, which I love for this. And I'm going to use my VersaFine again because this is really nice and dark. And then I'm going to take all of my letters here. And I'm going to grab this is my magnetic ruler. And I know I want it there. Now, this is not a straight piece of cardstock, but this is. So, if I make sure that this is lined up, then that should be fine. So if that lines up there, that lines up there, that looks good to me. So I'm going to move this down ever so slightly. There we go. And that should help me, allegedly, line this up. So let's go for this. I'm going to move this out of the way, and my C is my centre letter, and that's going to go there. Lovely. I'm just going to grab my stamp chamois and have that to the side. Laura says when she's stamping in her journaling, she stamps one letter at a time. I know. I do find it easier to do that. So I've now got to remember how to spell teacher backwards. So I'm going to start with the back end first. So I'm going to use my E. That's my A, not my E. That's my T. That's my E. I feel like I might need to even write it down so that I know what I'm doing. So it's T-E-A-C-H. So it would be A would be the other side of this. So let's try that next. Sorry about the head again. So that's my A. And then the E again, we'll use that. There. This is where it now looks like I'm not spelling it right, but I'm sure I am. Have you ever had that situation where, like, you write a word so often, or you say a word so often that you no longer know how to spell it? It just doesn't look right. I do that often when I'm designing stamp sets, and then I really question myself: have I spelt that word right? Is that how you spell? And I've done it about a million times, and obviously it is how you spell it, but when you've seen it written down so many times, you definitely question it. So that's teacher. That looks good. That's pretty straight. I'm happy with that. I think that looks all right. So I think we'll quit while we're winning there, and I like that. Annalise suggests that happens when she looks at a word for too long. Try marking spelling work, it just begins to look wrong even when it's right. Oh my god, yeah, I bet it does. Have you seen some like really bizarre spelling mistakes? Like, just, I bet you've seen some funny ones, haven't you? Right, so we've got To a Fantastic Teacher. I think this is very cute. Let me just pop this. See if I can pop this back without destroying the entire craft room. Lovely. Okay, so love this stamp set. This is the Clyde Alpha A6 stamp set. You've got 2 different sizes in this lovely, you know, serif font. I think it is an essential to have for building your own customized sentiments, also for your journaling and any of those type of things that you're doing, any of your memory keeping. So yeah, and this is then, you know, obviously going to allow us to make this bespoke sentiment. So I did have a card base here, didn't I? Here we go. This is my card base. So I'm going to pop this on here now that we've got this background completed. I'm hoping that my glue hasn't clogged up over the course of the last week or so. Looks okay, which is good. It does get very warm in this this office, but we've been closing the blinds to try and keep it cool, just so that none of the items get dried up and clogged up, which they had been doing. So let's just make sure that that is where I want it. That looks, it looks fairly central. It may not be the most central, but it's handmade, isn't it? Laura says, I can read a lot of stuff that is spelt wrong, but I know what the kids meant. Read upside down too, and over times writing upside down to show them. Oh, bless you. That is a skill, being able to write things upside down. I love that. So, what else has been going on? I'll tell you what else is going on. It's a bank holiday this weekend, isn't it? It's bank holiday weekend this weekend. And that means bank holiday sale. So I am planning on a bank holiday sale. It will be over the weekend and into the Monday, the bank holiday Monday. So details of it will be announced tomorrow at some point. So if you're a newsletter subscriber, you will get to know about it first via the newsletter. So do look out for that, and exclusive access to the bargains. So now you see we've got this little fishtail banner that stands up. So it just gives you a little bit of extra dimension. You can also pinch in those edges and make it like that, but I like it to stand up a little bit. So I am going to bend it a little into each other. I should use my bone folds to do that, not my nails, but hey ho. But I'm going to just add a bit of glue to the bottom of here. And then just pop that over the word teacher, like so. And then just squidge that in place. Just making sure it is fairly central. There we go. And press that down, and then, like I say, that's going to just pop up a little bit, which is going to look really cute. I'm just going to just put that edge down a little bit. Love that. And now we can position our little fishies. So I think we were going to have one just there. This little chap is going to go here. We've got this guy. I want them all to be kind of pointing towards the teacher, so they're all kind of floating around, and then this little tiny dude is just going to sit there. That's kind of cute, isn't it? I don't know, I might swap these two around. My nails are causing me issues as usual. That's better, isn't it? Yes. They're all just swimming around. he's gonna, oh, this one's popped up, look now. Just needed to hold it down a little bit longer. That glue could grab. There we go. Now these guys, I'm thinking, do I pop them all up or do I pop some of them up? I think I'm gonna pop some of them up and some of them not. Because a bit of variety, I think, often looks really cool. So let me grab my little bit of shake tape here. And we can cut off some little bits. So I think that I might pop up this guy here. So yes, bank holiday sale. Lauren says, no, I've just done no spend August and we are still skin. Oh, bless you. I know, it's tough at the minute, isn't it, guys? Really tough. I do get that. But I think that's why, you know, it's great to have a sale. Because it allows you to, you know, stock up on some goodies without breaking the bank, hopefully. So... you there, and then these guys, I don't know whether to pop them all up. I do love a popped up image. I'm gonna pop them all up. Why am I being weird about it? I think them all surrounding the word teacher and popped up is just gonna look cute. Yeah, I'm liking this very much. If only I knew. Oh, I know a teacher that I could send this to, Laura. This would be perfect. Perfect for you. I was going to say, I don't know anyone. Right, let's get this on here. That's so cute. Not that I don't appreciate, but the thing is just not right for us. Back to school and holidays and car stuff has overstretched it. Oh, Laura, and I totally get it. I totally get it. There is absolutely no, please don't feel any pressure from me to, you know, stretch yourselves and overstretch yourselves. It's obviously the sales are there to, you know, hopefully, you know, offer you a little bit of a bargain if you can, but if you know what your budget is, and you must stick to that. So yes, please don't feel any pressure from me in that regard. So let's have a look. I'm thinking, oh, do you know what? I quite like the blue, so I'm thinking of adding some enamel dots. Laura says I'd pin it onto my info board in class and make me smile. Oh, that's too cute. That is really cute. So I think the white is what we're going to go for here. And just add a few little bubbles. Or big bubbles. A big bubble there. A little bubble there. And a little bubble just there. Turn you around because I want the bubble to just tuck underneath, and then we can have maybe a little one there, and a little one just there. That's quite sweet, isn't it? I do feel like I want another bubble, but that one's too big. Have I got any more white ones open? I have to open up a new packet, so I might leave them for the moment. Oh no, I've only got the big ones. The big ones. But what we can do is move that one there. And then have a big one just there. How's that? Oh yeah, that's looking cute. Oh, I don't know whether that one's too big there, but I like it. I do. I like it. I'm feeling it. So the last thing to do is add my little white highlights, because I've got them on this little guy, but I haven't got them on anybody else. So that's going to look a little bit odd. So I feel like that one might be making a little dry one. Let's try. Cute. This is what I go really quiet when I do this for some reason. Fully concentrated. I'll add a bit on there, and with this guy, where do we think? On his head there, and then a few little bits on his fins and on his tail. Oh, I love that. I love that. And then for the eyes, the black gloss pen. I'm just gonna just wipe off the tip of that, because it does sometimes clog a little bit. Not necessarily, it just dries over and crisps up a little bit over the top, gets a little crust over the nib. So you just need to wipe that off before you apply it to your project, just so that you don't make a little mess of it. And there we go. That is our fantastic teacher card from a stamp set that is nothing to do with back to school or teachering. So there you go. Look at that. I think that looks really, really cute. I love it. Laura Rumble, sorry, I'm getting my Laura's mixed up. Do you find you get left with big dots? I always use the small and medium ones first. Well, no, not really. I mean, I do end up with one or two more, because I like to use probably, like, as I've done here, I've got two of the bigger dots, but I've actually used two of each. So what am I talking about? So you can see on the ones that I've got left here, that it does vary quite a bit depending on what it is that what project I'm working on. So yeah, so I might have a few of the larger ones occasionally, but I think it's just about being a little bit braver in using some of the larger ones, and letting those stand out as well as the smaller ones. Don't be afraid to use them, because they do look stunning, and I love using them on all of my projects. So I think they're just a really easy and quick way to add an extra embellishment, and I think it just pulls the whole thing together. So I love that. I think that looks really, really cute. It's bright, it's colourful, and I love the message on it as well, because even though it is simple, it really does make an impact. So Annalisa says, I love it. Laura says it's a really fun card. Oh, thank you so much. So yeah, so if you've got a lovely teacher like Laura that you might want to recognise, then that's a little idea for you that you could try. Yeah, and try using some of your other stamps, and different stamps from different sets, maybe some of your alpha stamps and things, just to mix things up a little bit. So use your stamp set for something other than what it was originally intended, and it just extends the life of your stamp sets if you can just think a little bit outside the box and mix it with a stamp set like this. means that your possibilities are pretty much endless, because you don't have to use any of the sentiments then that are in here really, or you can just, like we've done here, pick out one bit of a sentiment and then create the rest. So you could have to a fantastic student instead. You could have to a fantastic mom, dad, you know, brother, sister, whatever. You can then create that extra word using this stamp set. So you could actually make this for so many different occasions. It doesn't just have to be for a teacher. It could be for anybody you want, really. And particularly for, you know, family members that aren't often represented. So maybe a stepmom or a stepdad, stepbrother or sister, those types of things that you don't often find sentiments for. This is a great way of doing that, because you can build that yourself. There's also other sentiments in here that you could possibly use. So you've got "may all your fishes come true," but you could write out wishes on here if you wanted to. Papa is a great example, Laura, because you don't always have those words. You could do grandfather, grandmother, nanan. So one that, you know, there's not many stamp sets. In fact, I don't think I've seen any stamp sets at all that say nanan. And that's a word that we use for grandma or grandmother here in Sheffield. I don't know if it's just a Yorkshire thing, but we use that term here for grandparents. So that would be a really good one to have on here as well, especially if you've got somebody who loves their fish as well. Fancy R says, such a cute card, love that background. Thank you so much. It's so easy to do. Simple background with some inks, your border around the outside, which just frames it and brings it all together, and then your little images around that awesome sentiment. Love that. I think that's a really good formula for making a quick and easy card. So yeah, let me know what you think, who you would possibly address your card to, who's fantastic that you would be able to write this to. Yeah, I think there's so many possibilities with this. So I'm going to leave you now with this. I'm going to take some pictures of it, and then yeah, I think I will probably see you again next Thursday for another live. But I will also hopefully see you over the weekend with our bank holiday sale, for those of you that want to take part in that and grab yourself a bargain. I hope you all have a wonderful, Barista's a great one, and you could make the background more, you could do mix it with some of our other stamp sets and make it more kind of coffee related. But I love the fantastic element for the barista. That's such a good idea. Since you go to Starbucks so much, Annalisa, yeah, I think they deserve a card from you, don't they? Definitely. The coffee stencil in the background. You could then have a fantastic barista instead. Such a good idea. I'm definitely going to have a go at something like that. So yes, have a fabulous weekend, everyone. Whatever you're getting up to, whether it rains, whether it snows, whether the sun is shining, I hope we all have a wonderful bank holiday weekend. Make the most of that bank holiday day off. And I shall see you all really soon. Thanks so much for joining me, guys. See you soon.